The Best in the World podcast with Richard Parr.
Hello and welcome to The Best in the World with Richard Parr. It is episode 33 with the Olympic long jump champion Jeff Henderson. You may remember that dramatic night in Rio de Janeiro when Jeff became the Olympic long jump champion, taking the reign from the UK's Greg Rutherford, who I believe got bronze on that night. But it's all about Jeff Henderson today, the United States long jump star and sprinter. Really good chat with him. We talk about a whole range of different things, talking about how he put his team together, what it takes to have the perfect long jump, how he's going to concentrate on sprinting now, and what it was like to grow up in Arkansas. Plus, we have a little bit of fun talking about movies and music as well. We're going to get to that interview with Jeff in just a moment. But first, I want to tell you that today's podcast is brought to you by Sportacino. Sportacino is a brand new sports breakfast show on Facebook Live. All you've got to do is go to facebook.com/Sportacino. It'll be on the air at 8 a.m. UK time every single weekday morning, and it will cover a range of topics from sports including football, tennis, rugby, cricket, golf, you name it, plus also tips on health, nutrition and fitness. And it is hosted by yours truly, Richard Parr. That's Sportacino. It is on every weekday morning, facebook.com/Sportacino. Please share it and tell all of your friends. That is today's sponsor. But this is The Best in the World with Richard Parr. A great chat coming up with Jeff Henderson. He is the best in the world.
The Best in the World podcast with Richard Parr.
Jeff Henderson, welcome to The Best in the World with Richard Parr. Olympic long jump champion at the 2016 Rio Olympics. 1 month later, how has your life changed since that moment, Jeff?
It had changed a lot since then. I've been doing a lot of interviews and people actually know who I am. And it's like, wow, I'm actually a known person now, not just a person that just does athletics. So now it's like everyone knows who I am. It's still a puzzle like that. I actually want my autograph, I want my picture. So I'm still stoked about it. But it feels good.
Does it get annoying at all when you maybe go for some food or you're walking around and everyone's like, oh, I want your picture, Jeff, I want your picture?
Actually, no, it never gets annoying because it's never new. It's always, well, I'm trying to take that back, it's always new. Every time someone puts a picture of me, I'm just like, you want a picture of me? Why me? I'm a nobody. So it's like, it's always fun to see people smile or cry because they see me. So it's always fun.
And of course, leading up to the Olympics, you must have been at some of the peak training of your whole career. 1 month later, how are you able to kind of still train? Have you slacked a lot or have you slacked a little? How do you stay focused when you've just got through one of your main goals of your life?
Just to better myself. I know the Olympic Games was probably one of my worst meets of the year, and I hadn't jumped so good there. This next year is just to focus on just jumping farther, and then it's to at least try to break the world record, if not, but just to jump better than what I did last year. So it's about just a bit better myself and just to be on top of my A game. That's the main focus.
What do you think you need to do to break the world record?
Honestly, it's got to be the perfect meet, the perfect jump. There's not much I'm going to change on this training wise or eating wise. I had a couple meets where it's been close to the world record, but it's been like toenail scratches or I've been a foot behind the board. So it's like it's just the perfect meet at the right time.
So describe for people who aren't long jump experts some of the characteristics of the perfect leap for you.
The perfect leap for me is just of course about the perfect meet, the perfect weather, the perfect track, and the crowd also. And if you and your coaches are on the same page, and it's all about just staying consistent in practice and on the track, of course. So for the blind eye, they'll know what long jump is. It's all about just courses, running fast and jumping as far as you can. So that's really it's as simple as I can get it to people that has a blind eye that don't know how to do long jumps. So I try to keep it simple as possible for people that don't know how to do it. So just run fast and jump hard.
Now, you said about the crowd. Was it intimidating at all being in the Rio Olympic Stadium, or was it something? Well, obviously you became champion. Did it actually inspire you? Did it motivate you more?
Of course. I came in just as confident as I can be because I won the Olympic trials in the States in Oregon, and I jumped there in sprint spikes because I got my spikes. I jumped the sprint spikes. So I knew if I could jump the sprint spikes there, I could jump good in anywhere that night that year. So the crowd is always the same. Just I go in and I see my coach and he see me. Me and him on the same page, and we have a good understanding of each other, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a good day.
And you said you're just getting used to people recognizing you. Obviously, when you go to the Olympics in the Olympic Village, there are so many superstars from the men's basketball team to some of the tennis players. You've got all those type of people. What was that experience like? Did you spend much time in the village? Could it have been easy for you to get distracted? And how did you stay focused?
Of course, I met everyone in the basketball team. My favorite one was Clay Thompson. We chatted up after I won the gold medal. But it was easy to stay focused because I was so focused on my event and what day and what time I had to jump and what day I had to go practice beforehand. So I never got to see any events. I never got to see Cross the Redeemer. I never went out beforehand. I never did anything. I just made sure I stayed on point with my practices and my massages and my therapist and my coach, and make sure I stayed on point with all that before I even started. So it was really easy for me to just focus on one thing, because of course the trials is the hardest part for me. The Olympic Games was of course hard, but it wasn't as hard as the Olympic trials. So it was much easier to stay focused on what I need to do.
You're not the first American Olympian I've spoken to on this podcast who say actually getting through the trials is the hardest thing, because you've got so many great athletes over in the United States. You mentioned your team there. How did you get some of the members of your team? Where did you formulate this team?
Well, it started off with the coach. He met me and he wanted me to come down a year early before I graduated school. So we and him got together and said, I want to graduate school first, and I'll go to California with you. So after I graduated, I left soon. As soon as I left, I left. But I didn't even walk. I just left. And I got there, and I met with some people that I liked and some that I didn't like, of course. And some that I can deal with myself and not do too much. So I mean, my team is have my science therapist. She knows my body from back to her hand, and she knows if I'm not ready to jump, if I am ready to jump. So I always go to her beforehand and after. And I have my therapist, and she talks to me about just staying calm and collect and don't rush it. So it's a whole team. It's of course my agent too. So of course if you know Al Jonah, he talks so much and he tells so much, but we have to tell him, like, in competitions, just keep it short. Don't talk, because you talk a lot in competition. To me, I'm going to overthink it, and that's happened before. So once we got that down, he started talking less and started putting out small things what I need to do and short things I need to do. And it got better and better as the years gone by and the meets gone by.
And of course, that great team helped you win that Olympic gold. Let's just talk about that day. What was going through your mind in the morning? Did you change anything to your routine that day? Did you eat anything different, or did you eat what you normally have? Did you listen to any music? What is part of your pre-competition ritual?
Of course, I drink water all day and night every day. So I get up all through the night and go use the bathroom. And every morning I get up, I eat banana or an apple, mostly a banana because I love bananas anyway. And I always make a juice, a pre-juice before I go jump, like a juice of apple or a cucumber or something that's green. I do spinach sometimes, so I do that first, and I drink that before I go out. And after that, I talked to my therapist, and I talked to her beforehand, and she just makes sure that I'm calm and collected. And I said this. She always tells me, don't change nothing. Do what got you there. If you change, then something's wrong. So that's true. Everyone has told me that if you change something, do the same thing you've been doing when you got there. And that's my ritual. I do that every meet, no matter what meet it is. It could be a low class meet or a diamond league meet. Doesn't matter. I do the same thing each meet.
It's really important to kind of keep that same routine. So I was watching that final. It was very late over here in the UK when you won that gold medal, and you left one of your best jumps till the end, and then Lawson had that big jump, but he caught his hand behind. Did you ever think for a second that he may have won gold, or were you always confident? Because you look pretty confident.
Yeah, I did. Well, I knew it was a far jump, man. I see how far it was on the board. It would have been close. We got first and second, for sure. But I know the hand. So something you don't think about is the hand. It happened to me indoor last year in Portland. I got fourth, and my hand slipped, and I would have got first. So it's something you don't think about. I know he's mad that it happens. That it happens to jumpers like that because you don't think about it. So yeah, insane.
Obviously, you're both part of Team USA. Were you close to him? Were you guys who had trained together at all?
No, we don't train together at all. But I see him at certain meets, and we only competed against each other. I think three times? No, twice. Is it the Olympic trials and Olympic games? So it's my first time really competing with him. So it's he's a very talented young man. I can say that much, but he's still young. He still got more in him, more years. Especially, I guarantee more than me. So I know he'll be fine for the next games, for the next World Championships. He'll probably medal there.
Now, of course, you're a sprinter as well, 100 meters. I believe you were a national champion in the States as well.
Yes.
How difficult was it to concentrate on sprinting and long jump? You know, obviously some athletes only have to worry about one discipline, and you have to worry about two. When did you decide that you'd make more of a focus towards the long jump?
Actually, it never really focused on just one. My first year out, me and my coach, we focused on both, and we were gonna figure out which one came up first. And that same year, I ran 10:19, and I ran a 6:58 in the 60. But at the time, it never progressed better. So we kept sprinting, but we did jumping too. But jumping got me to meets overseas, and that's kind of how I popped off. So we started jumping more and more and more and more, and I got better at jumping more and more and more. So we won't focus on the same thing every year. Just focus on sprints and jumps. So neither one comes first, of course, because I want to do sprints, of course. I want to make the relay team, and of course, we all know there's more money in the sprints than in the jumps. So that's the whole thing I want to do, because I know if I can sprint, I can definitely still jump far.
The Best in the World podcast with Richard Parr.
More from Jeff in just a moment, but today's podcast not only is brought to you by Sportacino, but it's also brought to you by Audible. Audible is one of the leading suppliers of audiobooks in the world. They've got over 180,000 titles for you to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. It's a product I personally use. I've listened to lots of different audiobooks, from Daniel Bryan's Yes to I'm listening to Creativity Inc. now. I've listened to Boris Johnson's book on Churchill. All different audiobooks which you can listen to, which you can learn from, because that's what we do every week on this podcast. We try to learn from the very best, and you can do the same on Audible. Now, Audible are offering a free 30-day trial for their service and a free audiobook download because they are the show sponsor. So all you need to do is go to audibletrial.com/best, audibletrial.com/best. That will give you your free audiobook download and 30-day trial. Please do it. It will help this show going because they are our sponsors. That's audibletrial.com/best. They are sponsoring today's show, which is with the Olympic long jump champion, Jeff Henderson. Let's get back to our chat.
The Best in the World podcast with Richard Parr.
So let's talk about your early days. You grew up in Arkansas, and when did you realise that you were good at athletics?
I was always good at football, American football here, and I was like, I'm really good at it, and I was really fast and quick. But I kind of stopped playing after like my junior years, and I still played my senior year in high school, and I got slowly into track and field athletics, and I just liked it. But I don't think no one really likes running because I feel like running, but I know it helps me do better in athletics and long jump in the 100. So that's kind of how I really got into it, and then it got more serious when I got into college. So that's kind of how it just got better and better each year.
Obviously in college, not only are you competing and training, but you're studying as well. How good is your time management? How were you able to juggle everything?
Like in school?
Yeah, with school.
I went to a D2 school, and I went to a junior college too. But it was very easy to manage it because I wanted to run track. For me to run track, I had to make sure I passed all my classes. So it was very easy. Of course, I had friends, teammates that wanted to do the same thing I did. So we all had studying groups, and we all basically take some of the same classes. And if not, we all knew who could help us. So it was very, very easy to manage my time and manage my schooling and practice and trying to get better and all the above. So it was really easy, very easy.
So you said you want to concentrate on sprinting. You said that you were playing a lot of football as a kid. So when you were growing up, who were the athletes and sports stars that inspired you?
It inspired me. One of them is he still plays in the NFL now. Marquise Goodwin. I saw him first saw him at the trials here in the States, and he won it, and he didn't make the final for the next day at the Olympic Games. So that's one person that inspired me because he does both football and track. That's one thing that I want to do. Of course, I'm doing track right now, and I'm doing good at it, but I also want to play football, and one that inspires me. And another person that inspires me is Dwight Phillips and Carl Lewis, and I still talk to them to this day. So for any advice, and of course Jackie Jordan and of course Aaron Jordan, I talk to them every day too. So if I need any help or any advice or anything, or just talk to them personally on a personal note, they'll pick up the phone anytime and they want to talk to me. So that's a good thing to have that contact and have those people as friends.
Yeah, I bet I can see the connection with Carl Lewis straight away. One of the greatest sprinters and long jump athletes of all time. So when you're not training, when you're not concentrating on everything, how does Jeff Henderson relax?
Honestly, all I do is sit down and watch movies all day. I watch movies and what else do I do? I might go bowling every now and then, but all I do is sit in the house. I'm a homebody guy, so I don't really go out there much. And if I do go out, I probably go to the beach or to a couple bar maybe, or if not, I just sit in the house and relax because mostly I'm a lazy guy. And I just chill and relax, man. So after I'm not training or running, I'm relaxed, man.
Well, I don't think it's you being lazy. Your body needs to recover. So come on. What are your favourite movies?
Honestly, I don't have a favorite. I like all scary movies. So and last time I find any scary movie that I like that has me jumping and laughing, I watch all of them, man. But my most favorite is probably the Conjuring my funniest one is a movie called Money Talks. It's an old movie, but it's pretty funny, man. So I mostly like scary movies and comedy movies. A little bit of action if it's good.
Wow, I don't like scary movies, not because I get scared, but I always think I'm going to get scared, you know? And I think
exactly.
the last thing I want to do is not be able to sleep because I've watched some kind of scary movie.
Exactly.
And what about music? Do you listen to much music? Do you do much of it to help motivate you in the gym, perhaps, or before a big competition?
Exactly. I listen to all types of music. I listen to country, some country, some pop, some rock, hip hop, R&B, and soul music too. Because my dad raised me to listen to Temptations all the time. So I listen to all types of music. If it's good, I like it, and it's motivating me, or whatever the case may be, I listen to it every time.
Yeah, I saw the Temptations in Brighton. They had a few new members because they keep changing all the time, but they were unbelievable. It was the Temptations and the Four Tops. Absolutely outstanding. What about, you mentioned country music. Is that motivating? Is there any artists we should be listening out to? Obviously, it's not that massive here in the UK, but there's a massive market for it in the States. Anyone in particular we should be listening out to?
The one that I like the most is Lecrae and J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. That's my top three. And of course I love Wale too. So top four is my top four all day long. Wale, Lecrae, J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar.
Well, we'll have to listen into them. Jeff Henderson, we've learnt so much from you today. We really appreciate your time. Keep enjoying some of the attention you're getting because it's well deserved. All the hard work you've put in. Congratulations on your gold medal. In fact, where are you keeping your gold medal right now? Where is its pride of place? Not that I want you to get burgled and want someone to find out where it is, but where?
It's in a safe box in a bank, so it's in a safe place.
Okay, that's good to know. Well, of course, it's great pride for it. Just before we go, Jeff, our listeners would love to know how they can keep following you and keep across all of the great things that you're up to. Maybe you could tell our listeners some of your social media channels or websites or anything else you'd like to promote on the show.
Well, I have an Instagram that says Jeffrey_Henderson, and Instagram is Jeffrey_HENDERS. So those are everything I put those on there, and everything that's new, updated, and is going on in my life. I update everyone to let them know what I'm doing or what I'm saying. So that's everything.
Well, Jeff Henderson, thank you so much for being on today's show, and thank you for being the best in the world.
Thank you, Richard.
The Best in the World podcast with Richard Parr.
Thanks so much to Jeff Henderson for appearing on The Best in the World. Really good chat with him. He sounded a bit under the weather there, didn't he? But he's certainly enjoying all of the adulation and fame that is coming with being the best in the world, the Olympic long jump champion. Really great to have him. If you enjoy athletics and you enjoy learning from the very best in the world, why don't you go back and listen to a few of our previous episodes? We spoke to the 10,000 meters world champion Liz McColgan on a previous show. We also spoke to the 4x100 meters Olympic champion Darren Campbell. Really great insights from both of them. They're all on the website richardparr.net. They're all on iTunes. They're all on Stitcher. Please rate and review the show on iTunes. Tell your friends, tweet about it, mention it on Facebook. I really appreciate your support. We're really growing as a show. We're really growing as a podcast, and we really appreciate all of your support. If you have any views, please send me a message on Twitter. That's at Richard_Parr. And you can also do that on my website, richardparr.net. And of course, as I am involved in Sportacino, I would love if you checked out that show as well every morning at 8 a.m. on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Sportacino. A lot of things for you to get around your head, but I know that you're talented people because you're learning from the very best. You're learning on the best in the world, and we'll be back again next week. Have a great one. Take care. Goodbye.
The Best in the World podcast with Richard Parr.